Don't worry about this. This is yeah, it's gonna be Easter. I ate too many peeps, and this is what happens. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am that one punk. I have a like professional camera now. That's crazy. I have a Canon camera. I'm looking at you through a Canon camera. That's crazy. This is not the angle I'll be going with it. I just don't have a super long cable, so this is just the way it's going to be until I get a longer one, and I can use my actual tripod. Right now I'm using like a cell phone tripod, so it's not the best setup, but it's going to get me through this video. Speaking of this video, thank you to my lovely patron and wonderful girlfriend, Bunnet, for suggesting this video. I have patrons. Even I forget sometimes. Yes, this was a patron suggested video. There's still one spot of if you take that spot, I'll make a video that you want. Guaranteed. Not after this one though. I still have after this one I have 2 more to work on, and then in between those I'm going to be doing the looking for more, so we'll see. But Bunnet, aka my wonderful, beautiful, sexy girlfriend, suggested I talk about my paranormal experiences, of which I have a few. If you are not a believer in the paranormal, totally get it. It can be a little far-fetched at times, but I personally, as a religious person, am a believer in the afterlife and in the fact that sometimes souls get stuck on Earth for various reasons, as well as being a believer in aliens and all that, because it's kind of stupid to think we are alone in the universe. Sidebar, look at this shirt I got. It's a Sex Pistols shirt. Can't really see it, but like, it's got all the boys on there. I just really like this shirt. But I have a few paranormal experiences under my belt. Speaking of which, on this channel, I definitely want to go ghost hunting at some point, so get ready for that. But we're going to be talking about these experiences in a funny way to me. I'm going to be starting with ones that I think are pretty explainable and definitely probably not paranormal, all the way to the one that I just genuinely can't explain. And I'll probably put some like fun edits here to visualize my stories, but I don't know. Let's see how lazy I am. My first experience is the most explainable, but I'll tell it anyway. So, in my childhood home, it was a mobile home, a double wide. And in my room, not in my room, it'd be weird if there was a fucking tree in my room. Outside of my room, there was a tree directly outside my window. So I would hear this tree kind of scratch up and bang against the window from time to time, especially on really stormy nights. On this night, it was super stormy, so I heard that tree constantly, and it was very annoying. But eventually I fell asleep to the sound of the tree. Now I woke up around 4 in the morning, and I still heard the banging on my window, but there was no storm, not even any wind I could hear. So I get up, and I open the curtains, and there's just a little guy staring at me through the window. So I'm looking down at an alien, and he's looking up at me, right? And when I say alien, I mean like legit, like teardrop head, big black eyes, a little slit for a mouth. I couldn't see anything for a nose. And he's just looking up at me. I looked down at him, and I was like, man, that's weird. So I closed the blinds and went back to sleep. And when I woke up, I was like, man, did I see an alien? Of course, this one is very explainable. I was just sleep deprived and seeing things. Hopefully, I really hope I didn't just see an alien and go back to sleep and not even like think about it. Like, I legitimately, this was my thought process, right? I remember I was like at most 15. I remember waking up going, man, what's that banging? Opening my blinds, looking down, making eye contact with this thing and going, and then walking away and going to sleep. I am totally convinced that it was some sort of dream from being sleep deprived, but what are you gonna do? It was funny. Under the next one, this one happened with a group of friends, so there were more people to corroborate this story. It was 4th of July, and we all wanted something to do. And so my friend suggested, hey, let's do the 11-mile challenge. In case you don't know, the 11-mile challenge is a, I guess, like, it started on an internet forum where basically you get in a car, and before you start your trip, you make a wish of something physical that you want to appear in the trunk. And then you drive for 11 miles with your radio off and never going above 30 miles an hour, I believe. And you drive straight for 11 miles, no stopping, no turns, nothing, just keep driving straight. And at the end of those 11 miles, after a bunch of ghosts or spirits or whatever torment you in this car, the thing you wish for will be in your trunk. So, me being the only sober one in this group of friends, was like, yeah, let's fucking do this, because I really want to terrify my very drunk friends. So we all pile into my car, and we start driving, and where I live, there's a lot of, I live in Texas, right? So there's obviously a lot of woodlands and, like, back roads and just farmland, so I drive in that direction, because that's probably where the creepiest shit is going to be. So we're driving, and one of the things with the challenge is if you see anything distractingly red, don't look at it. And that's a big point. It's not just if you see anything red, don't look at it. Like, there's going to be some red stuff on the road, like stop signs and stuff, right? It's something that's like, that's so red, it's weird, right? So we all have that in mind. And as we're driving down this back road, one of my friends in the back goes, hey guys, look at that. And it's this giant glowing red cross on top of a church. That, to me, is distractingly red. And we're all like, why'd you tell us to look at that? Like, that you just fucked up the challenge. And as I'm looking at it, my friend in the passenger seat takes the steering wheel and swerves. And I go, what the fuck was that about? And he goes, did you not see that in the road? And we go, and I'm like, no, what was it? And I turn back around. And we do not get out of the car, because this is like backcountry and we're probably on private property. So we drive super slow, and there is, I don't know what it is, but it was some kind of animal on the road, and it was completely skinned and just dead on the road. I could not tell what kind of animal it was. It looked vaguely humanoid, but again, I was in a car and we didn't really stop to check it out. And it had obviously been killed fairly recently because the blood was still bright red. So it was fresh. It wasn't stained or dried. It was fresh blood. And we all look at each other, and just kind of go, huh, we should get out of here. And I don't think any of my friends remember this, but I remember this because, again, I was the only sober one at the time. And we give up on the challenge. We're like, fuck that. That was crazy. We don't like that. So we're driving, and I remember distinctly there's a parked tractor where we were driving. And I'm going straight the entire time. I make 0 turns. There's a tractor. We keep driving. About 5 minutes later, we pass the exact same tractor. We were going completely straight. We passed the exact same tractor. And everyone looked at it and was like, that's the same tractor we just passed. And I was like, yeah, it was. We're in the same spot. And at the time, I had just watched the new Blair Witch movie. So I was like, fuck, we're in a time loop. This isn't good. Me and my friend look at each other, and we're like, we gotta go home immediately. And so we do. We go home, and we all just kind of sit and, like, think about what all that was. And we just kind of forgot about it. We just didn't talk about it. And that was it. I still have no idea what I saw on that road. I have no idea how I passed the same tractor twice going on a straight road. And I don't really want to know. I think that's better left unsaid. This one's here because obviously that could have just been a dead animal that fell off someone's truck. We were in the country. It's very possible someone was hunting. And because of the vibes that we were having, doing this spooky challenge, we all just psyched ourselves out. Can't really think of how we passed the same tractor twice going in a straight line, but I'm not going to think about it. This next one, everyone that was there can corroborate because everyone was sober. And this is still one of my favorite stories to tell when it comes to ghosts. So, my parents' house was it is fairly big. It's not like crazy big, but it's a lot of room. And whenever I had friends over and my parents were gone, we'd play hide and seek. That was our favorite thing to do because it was a spacious house. We would turn all the lights off and everyone would just play hide and seek. It's just what we did. It was fun for a teenager who didn't drink. So we're all playing hide and seek. And a common hiding spot was in my brother's room because it's on the first floor and it's just easy to get in and out of. And during a round, one of my friends said he got under my brother's bed and someone came in and he said that he thought someone was under the bed with him. And he's like, bro, shut up. You know, we're going to get caught. And after the game, we're all in my brother's room. And he's like, yeah, so who was under the bed with me? And everyone just kind of looks at each other and goes, no one was there. And he's like, oh, there was definitely someone under the bed with me. And as we're having this conversation, I'm the closest to the open door, right? I am the closest. As we're having this conversation, the door just shuts. We all look at the door. I look at it because I was the one who could close it. I was the only one who could close it, and my hands were in my pockets. We all look at the door. We all look at each other and silently all acknowledge that, yeah, that happened as we're talking about this ghostly thing that my friend ran into. And so, logically, we all got out of the room and went to get tacos. Because you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to face that. That's... Because what are you going to do? A ghost just acknowledge, yeah, that was me. I did that, and here I'm closing the door. What the fuck are you going to do? That is a story that me and my friends love to tell because it's just like... I can't explain it. There is no breeze. I didn't close the door, and I was the only one who could close the door. It wasn't even like a slam. It was like someone deliberately slowly closing a door as to not like raise a fuss. Like it's such a small thing, but it was crazy. Side note, my grandfather had moved in with us a couple years ago, and he took the guest room that was directly next to my brother's room. And I remember we were talking one day, and I can't remember what we were talking about. My grandpa goes, yeah, you need to stop banging on the walls at night. My brother looks at me and looks at him and goes, I don't. Like, what are you talking about? He goes, oh, I hear banging on the walls at night. Guess it's just your Nana. And he just walked off. Like, he just dropped the bombshell. Like, oh yeah, my dead ex-wife is definitely fucking with me at night. Anyway. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Didn't need to know that. I mean, it's kind of nice because the last thing that my grandmother said to him was, watch over those boys. So we like to think that she's just coming to check and make sure we're okay. So, wholesome ending. Last one that I can remember. There are probably more. And if I think of more, I'll probably make it like a Patreon video. But this is the most convinced I've ever been that I was with a spirit of some kind. So, this was 5 or 6 years ago. Me and a couple buddies are out, just hanging out at a Burger King. And my friend's then girlfriend calls him and says, hey, I'm home alone and I just saw someone or something like at my door. Can you guys come over? And I want to point out our first thought wasn't, oh my god, there's a ghost. We thought someone was living in our house because that was a thing at the time. At the time, that was very much in the news of like squatters being in attics and stuff. So we go there with the intention of finding someone living in our house. And when we go through all the places they possibly could be, my friend turns to me and goes, hey, you want to do a ghost hunt? And I was like, fuck yeah, I haven't ghost hunted in forever. And I'm not... This was just a wild idea. This was just like, hey, what if this is a thing? And we're like, haha, woo, funny. And then his girlfriend at the time is like, yeah, this house might be haunted. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, haha. And she's like, no, I'm serious. Like, this house is definitely haunted. And we're like, oh, well, shit, let me get my stuff. So I go home, I grab my shitty little camcorder I had at the time, and I go to the convenience store and I grab a flashlight because I'm broke and can't afford actual ghost hunting equipment, so a flashlight's the best I got. So we go into a room upstairs that she said had the most activity. And we sit in a circle, and I turn the flashlight on, put it in the center so no one can touch it. And I put it in the center of our circle. And I just say, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I want you to turn the light on and off once for yes, and on and off twice for no. Do you understand? And the flashlight went on and off once. And I look around, everyone's like, oh. And I remember my friend said that his girlfriend at the time was like, he's faking that, right? And he was like, no, like that, you can't fake that. Like, how do you fake that? Like, the flashlight was a good like 10 feet away from everybody, so I couldn't manipulate it if I wanted to. Keep asking it questions. I keep getting intelligent responses. I'm going, the fuck did I ask it? I don't have that video anymore because that camcorder sucked, and I got rid of it. And I wish I saved what was on that SD card, but I didn't. But I remember asking it, are you evil? And it said yes. And I was like, that probably wasn't a good thing to ask, but I had to know. And then I asked, how many of you are there? Click as many times for as many spirits are as in this house. And the flashlight turned off, and I could never get it to turn back on. I replaced the batteries. I took it home. It never came back on, no matter what I did. And after that, I remember everyone was pretty spooked because we just had a conversation with a ghost. So we all went downstairs, and me and my friend were hearing a clock ticking, and we were like, hey, can you turn that off? That's kind of annoying. And his girlfriend at the time goes and finds the clock, the only like the only like manual clock in the house. And she turns it around, there's no batteries in it, so it can't be making that noise. And as soon as we make that discovery, the ticking stops. And me and my friend look at each other and go, oh, it's just fucking with us now. That's cool. And and I remember we like called it for that day. We were like, hey, we're probably gonna go to my house to sleep and figure this out. You're more than welcome to come with us. I think we went to his house. We watched Poltergeist because that's funny, and we just kind of said, all right, that's it. And I remember we went back the next day. Didn't get much activity after that, and that flashlight never worked. The funny thing, that flashlight worked in spurts in the room that it broke. It's the only time it ever worked. That is the only paranormal story I can't explain. I don't know how the clock was ticking with no batteries. I don't know how that flashlight was doing what it was doing without saying it was a ghost. I can't explain it. And the fact that I have 3 witnesses for everything that happened, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. I can't explain it. The only explanation was demons. I think it was a demon. I don't know. It said it was evil, but it could have just been fucking with me, because I imagine life's pretty boring as a ghost. You're just kind of walking around going, hey, woo. But yeah, those are my memorable paranormal stories. I don't think I'm missing anything. I don't know. I probably have more paranormal experiences that I'm just not thinking about right now. But if I have any to add on, I'll probably put it on the Patreon. So if you want to see more of this, go subscribe to my Patreon. Remember, the next person to sign up gets to pick the next video under any tier. There's only 1 spot left, and once that spot is taken, it is reserved only for the sellout tier. So get it while you can. How y'all like the pink hair? I love it so much. It looks really wild in this camera. I really need to go over it again because I didn't get everything. Like, this is more orange than pink, but what are you gonna do? And no, I'm not dyeing my beard. I'm not fucking stupid. Updates on the channel. I had a vacation. I went and visited my girlfriend, and it was very fun, very nice. she's gonna come down here, and we're probably gonna make a ghost hunting video because it'll be fun. What else? I am working on looking for more. We're doing The Killing Joke first. I've just been lazy because I don't want to watch that movie. I really don't. I've also been working a shit ton since I got back home, so finding time to do anything has been very difficult. What else? I forgot to record this bit. Thank you to my patrons, especially Ghostly Caden and Bunnet. If you'd like to have your name shouted out in the credits of my videos, go ahead and hit the link down below. Get to see more of that on the Patreon. Subscribe to my Patreon. I'll definitely have more. As more people subscribe, I'll have more content on there to to entertain you. You'll definitely get more like unhinged content, I guess on there. I'll probably do more stuff on there that I can't really do on YouTube, like movie commentaries and other stuff I just can't really talk about without the risk of getting either copyright strikes or age restrictions. So if you're looking for more fun, explicit stuff, Patreon. I think that's it. Once again, Patreon in the description. You can also find our Discord server down there. We have tons of fun. I'm currently asking for merch suggestions because I want to make t-shirts and sweaters and stuff, and I am taking suggestions all the way until this upcoming Friday, I think, or Sunday. I'll maybe cut off suggestions at Easter. So if you want to make suggestions, go down to the Discord and reply to my message there. You'll also find my Instagram down there in case you want to keep up with me and my personal life for whatever reason, you fucking weirdo. I love that joke. It's such a stupid joke. I'll always make it. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Your support means the most. Really does. I love this. But yeah, that's it. I have been that one punk. Peace.